Hey guys, so it has been a whole minute since I've done anything with the Cybertruck. I've really been way too busy, and honestly I haven't really wanted to add a whole lot, but Hansshow reached out and they're like, would you like to try out any of our products? And I went through their site and I was like, hey, your projection lights look pretty cool. I know Tesla has some of these in their store, so I wanted to see how these compare to Tesla's and stack up. I don't have them, but I've seen them online, and so I can kind of get an idea from that. And then also this RGB light strip that goes up under your dash, and I wanted to see how that looked with the current RGB strip. I also have the light bars, the kind of like welcome bars, I guess, RGB, but I use them as just green, and then I set the inside of the truck to green, so I kind of want to keep that same accent or that same look, so I'm going to see how that works. So let's get into the video and check it out. All right, so I have the light here, and all you got to do is there's a little light underneath here, and I'll go ahead and get a shot of that, but you pry that out, and honestly, I'm going to use the little tool that they sent with the RGB strip set. It's just a little, pry, and, inside of a car, you can use it for like stuffing in. I noticed I had a similar tool to this for the seat covers that I have. So after some trial and error, I had to use a flathead screwdriver and this tool to get it out because these things are in there really, really tight. But you just wiggle that out and then that comes out. There is a button up here that you just have to hit to get it to eject. And as others have mentioned that I have watched on both the Tesla ones and this, there is, it's really, really tight up in there. So you're definitely gonna have to like get up in there and actually work with it because it's not easy. It is not an easy thing. I'm actually gonna shine a light up here and see. It's supposed to be some button that you hit. And I also do not want to, there's the button. I also do not want to hopefully damage anything. There we go. So there's the light. That's the Tesla one. Definitely going to hold on to that. And I will take this one now and plug it in. Supposedly that's all you have to do. And there is the projection. So it is working. I'll stuff this back up in here. And let's see here, that looks like that's backwards. Spin it around, and I'll go ahead and see if I can get this on the ground here, so hopefully you can see it. There you go. So there is the logo and the Cybertruck thing. Let me go ahead and shove this back up in here, and I'll show you what this looks like with it actually attached. So right here, you can see it. Now definitely lose a lot of light with it, I'll say that, and I'll go ahead and get a shot of it in the dark. So yeah, I will do the other 3 doors and get these installed, and then we'll see how they work and how they look. So honestly, the screwdriver flathead is a lot nicer. You do kind of have to be careful with the material under here. Maybe put something underneath it, but besides that, it comes out really easily with a screwdriver. So again, you hit this little button here. There we go. That pops out just like that. Take your connector, and there we go. I have a projection, so let me see where that looks like. That lines up. Definitely want to put it aiming the right direction, and we'll slide this up in there. And there you go. That is a real-time, and I have a Cybertruck logo on my head. That's kind of cool. Anyway, that is a real-time changing it with a screwdriver and just popping it in. So it's really, really simple. All right, so I got them installed, and it took me maybe 20 minutes once I figured out like kind of how to get it off. Definitely use the screwdriver. I am definitely going to be holding on to these. I'll keep them in the truck, probably with the screwdriver or a tool to be able to replace these, just in case something happens. I will be monitoring and making sure that everything works okay over the next couple weeks. And if anything does happen, I'll post it in the bottom of the video in a comment, let you know if something failed horribly, hopefully not. Because so far everything has been pretty good with the truck, and I definitely don't want to mess anything up. And when you start mucking around with electronics, it's why I haven't installed like anything like a backup mirror or anything like that, because I don't want to cause problems with the truck. And so I want to keep everything running good, right? I think we all would agree with that. So I'll show you here real quick just what it looks like. So I'm going to turn around here and I will show you on the ground. And that is the front one installed. So that is in pretty much, daylight. That's going to give you kind of an idea of what it's going to look like now. And then I will go ahead and I will open the back door here and get that open and back that up. Now there's kind of a contrasty shot, so that's going to show you like it on kind of its same color, if you will, or same, you know, a lighter material versus the black and the red. Kind of give you how that works. And I'll go ahead and open this all the way here. And there you go. So far, all of the windows are working. So here I'll show you this. This is the windows down, and you shut it, goes up, no problem, hit it, window comes down, no problem. So thus far, everything's checking out. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna install the RGB strip next and see how that looks inside, and hopefully it works out as well. All right, so I'm inside the truck now, and I've got their little Bluetooth transmitter, I'm assuming is what this is, and then your sticky adhesive tape that they give you. There is your Bluetooth, there is your USB hub to plug into the glove compartment, which I will check this out. I'll also plug this into a battery bank just to see how that works. And then I may run a cable for me personally, so I don't mess up anything with Sentry mode. I may run a cable like under the floor after the install, if I want to use a more permanent installation and run it to one of my USB-C ports or one of the, you know, outlets or whatever. And that way it's, you know, a little bit more, I don't have to worry about having issues with my Sentry mode, because I know that Tesla's manual states that you can have issues if you put a USB hub inside the glove compartment. So I'm going to go ahead and check this out. Take out their sticky tape here, and it is fairly sticky, I will give them that. Throw all my trash over here. And you want to make sure that you have this facing the correct direction, because if you don't, you're going to be in trouble. And let me go and peel this off here. So again, grab this right here. I'll show you how this works. So you're going to take this, you're going to stick, see if I can get a good shot of this, because I'm trying to do this, you know, single-handedly, I guess, if you will. So you put that right there, and then you're going to run this along the edge of your RGB strip. So if you've ever done any kind of RGB lighting, say like in an office or anything like that, this is going to be very similar to that kind of stuff. So I use probably half of the roll of this sticky double-sided tape stuff they give you. So definitely you have enough if you mess it up that you can probably go back and at least do 3/4 of the strip, if not the full strip, because this is probably half of the roll I started with. So I will go ahead and attach this now to the dashboard. All right, so I powered this through the glove compartment right now. I don't have it installed, obviously, but I wanted to just show you what it looks like. So that is the red setting. I'll have to download the app to change that, but it is in the glove compartment, and I want to make sure here, while I am on camera, that I can still access my footage from the dash cam. So I'll go in here and see if this interrupts anything. Front cameras, all of that's working good, so that is great. I can show you here real fast just what that is. So go ahead, so you can see my cameras here. That's all working with no problem. I've got, you know, all my cameras working. I have all my footage from all the way back, so that's not impacting my footage at all. So that is really good. So let me go ahead and get this stuck to the dashboard here, but as you can see, I mean, it already creates a nice glow underneath the dash. It's really kind of cool, honestly, and I will show you the final product. All right, so I did actually have to end up doing this. I have to take out my phone holders, at least removing them while installing this. The other thing is, I can confirm there is exactly 2 runs of sticky tape, because I originally thought it stuck to the top, not the bottom part trim here. So that is something to keep in mind if you decide to go this route, that it sticks to the bottom little silver trim piece just above the pre-existing RGB strip. If you try to stick it to the top like I did, it's not going to work. You're not going to see it. So I did have to remove those. So after some struggles and after a pretty annoying mistake on my part, I have just wrapped getting this installed. Now it does look like I have been able to pull this up and readjust it as needed. So just keep that in mind. If you mess up, you can go back and kind of pull it up. Also, it doesn't stop any of the airflow under here. So if you're worried about that, I'm not noticing any different airflow with this there versus it not there. So just something to keep in mind. That's a pretty good fit, I think. I'm not seeing any weirdness. And you know, that is good. So I will go ahead, I will put in my phone mount here and lift up the middle here, pop that in, and as you can see, it slides right in there, and there we go. I've got my phone mount, and I don't have to worry about, you know, losing that capability. So that's good. Definitely, if I pull this out, it's going to be a little annoying because you're going to have sticky stuff on the top, but it's plastic, so you should be able to rip it out pretty easily. The sticky stuff came right off when I messed it up on the, so I put it on the top, and you're supposed to put it on the bottom, obviously, because it goes on the bottom. And so I was able to get that fixed pretty quickly. All right, so I finally got everything working. I've got it in the dash. I will say, I'm going to show you how I have it set up currently. And this is the current configuration that I have. You can see this wire here. Now, obviously with the door shut, you're not going to see it. And I ran it behind this little weather stripping and over into the glove compartment. So my biggest issue is that you have this right here, and this pushes everything this way towards you. And that causes the glove compartment to not shut, which is a big issue and has caused the drawer to be stuck one time while I was installing this. So that is my first big complaint. I will say my second big complaint is that I have to run this there. I understand, but it's a little annoying, and I don't know if I'll be leaving this connected. So that's just my personal opinion. I do like the look of it. I may find out another way, maybe run another longer USB cable to, like I said, somewhere in the truck. It will run as a 5-volt, so it'll run on anything, an old iPhone, you know, power brick. So it'll run on a whole lot of different things because it's a really small power draw. But I don't know that I really want to leave this plugged in my dash. I could run it to the floor and then run it under my mat, and I would never know it's there, and that to me is a lot better. So I may extend this, and I'm not messing around with anything to do with my Sentry mode and that USB drive in there, and potentially not being able to get into my glove compartment, which is super annoying. But besides that, I did find the app also. That's a little bit of a pain. It is the Lotus X app, I believe is what it's called. I will double check here real fast. Oh, Lotus Lamp X app. And that just tells you what that is, so you know. And I will go ahead and show you this powering on here real fast and what it looks like in the truck, which it does look pretty cool. So here's you can see the bottom is the regular standard built-in green here, and I can change this green to a bunch of different colors. I can move it all around. It does a music sync, so obviously you can see that it's working with my microphone on my phone, which is cool. Kind of honestly gives you that like Knight Rider type thing. If it was just a single color, which it looks like I can go in here and change the color if I wanted to, and I can change how much of the bar lights up, so that is kind of cool. I do like some of the features. I really have to say, if I have an RGB strip in the truck, I like some of the features. I can do this and go like a bunch of different, I can do 7 energy, which is epileptic seizure there. And there's, you know, another one that's really kind of a lot to take in. But here, that one's kind of cool. The fade in and fade out, that's kind of neat. But what I really like is that when you shut it off, so it starts like all the way over there, and it slowly tracks and shuts off, and then it does the reverse when it turns on. So it just goes and kind of lights up. So that is kind of cool, and I do like those features. For me, I don't know. I may pull this out. I may leave it in. I'm gonna leave it in for a little bit just to see if it doesn't annoy me a whole lot with what it's doing in the glove compartment. And maybe, like I said, if I rerun it, then I definitely would think about leaving it in, just because I think it adds an accent to the front dash that is kind of cool, honestly. Definitely for night driving, I would probably shut this off and or turn it way down, because it is probably 100 times brighter than the one that comes in the truck. So just to keep that in mind. But yeah, that has been my installation and review of the door lamps from Hansshow, and also the RGB light strip for the front dash. I think they're pretty cool. Again, I've shown my complaints and kind of my concerns. I will let you know if anything changes with these, if they cause issues with my windows for the door lamps, or if the RGB strip is kind of like, I'm not keeping it. But for now, I do like it, and I will be keeping them at this point, and then just trying to work around some of the kinks that I really have an issue with. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is not meant to be super long, so it'll be a really short video and just kind of show you what these are and what I've done with the truck so far. And we will see you in the next video.